Hello and welcome back, guys. Alright, so what problem we have here is when we post, let's click on add new post, and in this section here in the text editor we can add either video or pictures. So let me click here and let's try to add something. I'm going to find the smallest picture I can find. Where is this? Let's see here. In terms of file size, so this one looks good. Let me open that. Okay, so the way things are like this is some content. Okay, so the featured image will be here, but we can also add images down here. Now the problem is when we send these images, they are sent into the database because all the information here goes into the database, and that is a problem. It's a problem because if the images are quite large, that will really slow down our database and hence slowing down the entire website. So we need a way to process the information in here. First of all, if somebody puts in a very large image, we should be able to crop that image to a smaller size. And also we need to remove the image and save it on the in the drive instead of on the database. That way we can, and in here we put a link instead of the actual data. So the important thing here is to figure out how exactly this information is sent to the server. So let's check it out, shall we? If we go back to a project, go to app http admin controller, since we're in the admin controller, and we go to this case add where we're adding, and then we go to where we post something here, and then we validate. So so validation goes on here, and once we validate, it means we are able to save. So let's do our check for the images after validation itself. So I'm going to come here and say remove images from content. Now this is not just about images, it could be a video or something like that, but first what we need to do is check to see actually the problem is we won't pass this validation here since we won't have some of the content. So let's move this a little bit upward here. So what I want to do is get the content data, and which is right here. So this is the one here, so copy that, and I just want to echo this to the page, right? Let's do that. Okay, then I'll use die just so things do not progress from there. So I'll hit post, and when I hit post, you see that it shows me the entire image as well. So I just have to inspect the element to see what's going on. So it seems it saves the image tag as well. This is why it's showing as an image. But then let's look at the source here. So this is the source. So what I'll do is I'll right click here and say copy outer HTML, and then I'll create a new file and paste this content. Let me add the word wrap here so that we can see what's going on. So this content right here describes our image. The important part is the top here where it says data image JPEG base 64. So which means this is saved in base 64 format. So all we need to do is find every image tag and remove the data content and save it as a file. And then here, this is the file name, images.jpg. Okay, so what I'll do is let me create something to trim to remove everything from here. So we're going to use a regular expression here to speed things along, because using a normal text search would be quite impossible. So let's put the bracket here because we want to look for our image tag. So img, and then I want to look for any character that isn't this one here at the very end. Okay, so every character that isn't that one. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll put some brackets and put that character in here, and then I will negate the character here by putting a caret. So once I do that, I'll tell it to find one or more of this pattern. Okay, so this is the pattern down here for our regular expression, and you see it gets all this except for the closing tag. So to include the closing tag, we can simply add that in, like so. Okay, so that's the pattern that we're going to use here to capture all images from here. So what I'll do now is go back here and let's see if we can do that capture before we die here. So I'm going to send this to say original underscore content is equal to something like that, original content, and let's set that to this. Okay, that way we can manipulate the, actually we don't even need to do this, we can simply manipulate it and leave that out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use a preg match here. So I'll say preg match, but I want to match every instance, so I'll say preg match all quotes, and then I can paste my pattern there. So this is the pattern we are looking for here, so all image tags, and the subject is where we are getting those the content, which is in here, and then the matches will be the whatever we match will be saved in this here. Okay, so once I do this, I need to just loop through it. So I'll say for each matches, like so, as a match. So let's put match here. All right, so whatever matches we find, we're going to go through all of them here. Now this one saves an array of arrays, so this will be an array as well. So what I would do here is I'll say match, because I just want to get the very first item in there. So I'll say match is equal to match 0, like this. And then let me print out the match here, so just so we can see where we are at for now. So there we go, and I'll say match like that. Okay, so print readable. So let's see where we will go from here. So if I now refresh to resend, okay, I get something similar, but you see the text is gone because now I just get the image tag. Now inside the image tag here, I want to get the source. So I'll use the same kind of system where I do preg match again. So I'll say preg match. Now this time from the preg match, I want to get the source and its contents. So in the source here, I'll do a similar match like this one, but instead it will have source. So I'm just going to say src equals, and then the open bracket like that, open curly, and then everything that isn't another inverted comma like that. And without this, we don't need this, we just do that like so. Okay, and then the subject is match 0, this one right here. So I'll put that here, paste. Okay, and we need the matches from here as well. Now instead of calling it matches, because this is going to interfere with this, So maybe we'll say matches 2 like that, matches 2, just to differentiate it. This one is a single array because it's not preg match or, it's just preg match. Now the reason here I use just preg match because I just need one result. This is because we've taken one image tag here. We've taken one image tag, and so we know the source, there's just one source in here, so we just need the first result. So that's why I've just used preg match. This one preg match all, will get all images from our content. And then here we print out, let me do this. So we're supposed to print out just the source itself. So I'm going to paste this here, and let's see if we just get the text for the source alone. Resend. Okay, so there we go. We did get just the source. Now it's still an array here because you can see it's array and then source is equal to, and then there's this base 64, and then there's a comma here. So this is always the format at the beginning. Now if it's PNG, it would be image/PNG. However, the comma still exists here and nowhere else. This is the only place there will be a comma until the end of the content. So we can explode using this comma here so that we can get one piece here and the other piece, which is the content that we want. So let's do an explosion here, and we're going to say parts, I'll say parts is equal to explode. So explode will turn a string into an array. So we are exploding these matches. We have to tell it that the comma is what we are looking for, and that's it. Explode matches. And then now I want to print out parts 2. Not 2 actually, 1, because that's the second item in the array. So let me see that in action. Refresh, resend. Okay, hopefully it works. So it's saying explode argument 2 must be of type string. An array was given instead. Okay, so this one is an array, so we just want to get the first item from there. So like this. Okay, refresh, resend, and there we go. So now we have the data, just the data from the source in this one image that we've sent. So what we do with this is we save it as a file. Okay, now before we even do this, we have to create a folder where we will save these things. So I'm just going to say folder is equal to, and we already do have a folder called uploads, which was created because we uploaded other content. This is the folder in the public uploads. Now it's very possible that somebody may not put a featured image, but they want to save to this uploads folder. So we just need to check if it exists first. So we check if it doesn't exist. So we say if not, file exists, like this, and let's put the folder. Okay, close that. If it doesn't exist, make the directory like that, and let's put our folder comma 0777 to give it permission, and true for recursive creation. There we go. This recursive creation means if we had other folders here, they'll all be created. Just to create this one, we'll have to create this one and that one in case they don't exist. Okay, so at this point we're sure there's a folder here, and so let's create a file name for our file. So right here I will say file name is equal to, because each file should be unique, so we'll do it from here. File name be equal to. Now I want us to use the image model here because it has the file generator here. So, but if you don't have this, you can just generate a random file name. That's okay. But I want us to use this here. So copy that and come back here. So right in here, outside the loop, I will say image class is equal to new image, like so. So if I come here for file name, I can do this. Now this is the length, so maybe, I don't know, 50. That's the maximum length we can have for that name. So image class, like so. So the file name is equal to image class generate, and then at the end I want us to add .jpg. For now we'll just assume every file is a JPEG, and then at the beginning we'll put our folder and concatenate the two. Now since our folder name already has a slash, we don't need to put it there. So now we have a file name, and then the next thing now we can do is, we know this is the data, so we just need to save it, and to save it we'll say file put contents, like that, and the file name is already named file name. What about the data? The data is here, and paste. Now this is not just ordinary data, it's base64. So what we have to do is decode it from base64. So we'll say base64 underscore decode, like that. Okay, and then we'll close that tag like so. So we are putting the file as base64 decoded into this file here. Now on the file name, I want to know that this was a base64, just so I can differentiate it from the other uploads here, so that we can easily see that it was added. So I'll just put base underscore 64 as part of the file name, and then concatenate that as well. Okay, so let's do a test and see if we will have a file over here. So back here, I will just refresh and resend. Okay, so no errors here, which is good. And if we come down here, we'll see we have a base64 image. If I click on it, it's right here. So we've successfully moved the file from the text note into the drive here. The only problem is we still did not remove it from the original content. So let's continue in the next video.